Today we're going to learn some ways to maybe cut costs on vacation. Consumer and travel expert Barry Choi joins us this morning. Good morning, Barry. Happy to have this chat.
Good morning.
Okay, let's start first of all maybe with some people who haven't booked yet. Let's talk about some ways that maybe they can save a few bucks.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is be flexible. Spring break and winter travel is usually the most expensive times of the year to travel, quickly followed by the summer holidays. So if you can travel during off season, it can save you a little bit of money. And one other trick I like to do, or rather I recommend, is tell people to research different cities and countries. This way you get an accurate idea of how much it's going to cost you to take that trip, so then you can make that informed decision based on your budget.
Excellent. My biggest tip is always outside of those windows, right, when everybody is traveling too, because you don't want all the extra crowds and whatnot. So anytime you can avoid that, great tip there. Let's talk about some foreign transaction fees, what they are and how to avoid them.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize is that most Canadian credit cards charge a foreign transaction fee of up to 3%. And in some cases, that's on top of other fees that you may not even know you're paying. That can obviously bust your budget, and we don't want that. And one way to avoid that, and it's one of my favorite reasons I love Wise, is it's a simple, safe way to move and manage your money around the world. You can send money to more than 160 countries. In addition, if you have the Wise card, you can hold and spend in more than 40 currencies. So it's an easy way to spend like a local. What's great about Wise is they always use the mid-market exchange rate with low and transparent fees. So you always know what you're paying with no hidden costs.
Very nice and excellent tips for those credit card users. Let's talk about cash though. Cold hard cash. Do you get it before you go? Do you get it once you get there? What are your tips there?
You know what, that's a great question. I always tell people to carry a little bit of cash before they go, just in case you come across a vendor or place that only accepts credit or debit, right? But here's the trick. I was talking about the Wise card earlier. Well, it acts like a debit card. That means you can go to foreign ATMs and withdraw cash at those low transparent fees I was talking about. So you can spend like a local wherever you're traveling to. What's great about Wise is that if you go to wise.com, you can learn more about the Wise account and order your free Wise card. And basically, it gives you easy access to cash at a predictable rate.
Okay, how about some other maybe like little sneaky costs that we should be aware of?
You know, one thing that a lot of people have probably come across and they don't even know is called dynamic currency conversion. That's where if you're at an ATM or a merchant and they ask you to pay in the local currency or Canadian dollars, always choose the local currency because it's cheaper. I know you look at Canadian dollars and it's like, oh yeah, I understand what the exchange rate, this is great. But here's the thing, those banks, ATMs, and merchants, they can actually mark up that exchange rate, which can cost you a lot. And one other tip that I always tell people to look into is data plans when you're abroad. Obviously, if you use your cell phone abroad, it can be very expensive. Pre-purchase a roaming data plan or get an eSIM or even a local SIM card. It can save you a lot. Okay,
and how about one more just quickly before we wrap up? What's your take on travel insurance?
I personally think whenever you travel, you should just budget travel insurance as part of your costs. You know, travel medical insurance is non-negotiable. You want to make sure you have it just in case an emergency comes up and you need medical attention. It can be expensive overseas. And extended travel insurance like trip cancellation and delayed baggage, you know, it's always a nice to have and it just gives you an extra peace of mind. So just get it and then you'll feel much more confident when you're traveling.
Yeah, I feel like that peace of mind would really come in handy these days too when you're traveling. So great suggestion there. Barry, thanks so much for joining us today and sharing all these tips.
No problem, anytime.